So you had the idea for Breaking Bad before Breaking Bad?
Yeah, meth was real big in Harrisonburg, Virginia at the
I guess
time.
maybe it was not that novel of an idea, but to me,
when you're in high school, you don't have that much of an opportunity to do like sketch comedy or anything. It was never really something that occurred to me at the moment, except I'm sure Pat and I, we probably made some like fucked up videos where we thought,
Yeah.
you know what we used to do? Actually, this is funny. Like, we didn't do sketches, but what we would do is we would get into fake fights with each other. So we'd go stand out by the street, wait to have cars driving by, and then I'd have Pat like swing a recycling bin at me and have it like hit me in my hands at the last second. Then I'd fall down like right on the curb, and then we'd laugh because the cars would like screech to a halt. We're like, oh my God, I just saw a 12-year-old kid get killed. And so we would have like a camera set up to like to capture all that. Actually, it was mostly like knockoff Tom Green stuff.
I was gonna say like a little Tom Green, Jackass-ish, like shtick sketch comedy. What is Who Do You Know Here?
We started that in, I think it was right after college. So I knew that I didn't want to get like a real job, and I knew that I had this like creative energy. I wanted to do something where I was writing comedy, and that's a lot of credit to my my comedy writing teacher in college. I didn't even know that there was a comedy writing class, but his name's Inman Majors, one of the funniest writers. He's done some great books about college football, about a lot of stuff. Yeah. And I remember I found out about his class the day after. What do you call it when you're like I guess it's enrollment day or whatever. Sure. I found out about his class after I had already set up my schedule for that semester, and I was like, "Fuck, this is like the class that I want to be in." Yeah. And so I sent him an email and I was like, "Hey, I really wanted to get into this class. Comedy writing is like it's a passion of mine." So he meets me in his office. He starts asking me about like what my interests are. I tell him what I want to do, and I notice he's got like college basketball stuff set up around the room. And so I started talking to him about college basketball. And I mentioned something about like, oh, I can't believe like Kansas covered the spread last night or something. And he was like, and he goes, what do you think about UConn-Memphis tonight or something like that? Yeah. He's like, what do you think the spread on that game is? I guess like 3.5. He's like, it's 3. That's pretty good. Wow. And so he and I like bonded almost instantly. Yeah. Got into his class. He was a great teacher. And as one of my assignments in that class, I had to write like a short story, and I did that, and I thought it was really funny. It was about a high school kid that drops out to sell meth with his high school chemistry teacher.
Dang, that's methed up, right?
Yeah, and I thought it was very funny.
Just random.
Yeah.
Just a random idea.
And I started talking to my friends. I was like, we should turn this into a short film, which we did, and we made it in 2006, I think. Yeah, it was probably like December of 2006 we made it. And put in some like local film festivals. It wasn't that good. It's not very funny. Watching it back, it's actually like painful to watch what a shitty actor I am. But it was enough to prove to myself that like I could do it. You know, like I could. Yeah. I can't get any worse than this, and it's something that I care enough about. I should try to pursue it. And my friends felt the same way. So we started doing sketch comedy. A lot of those, I don't think that they even exist out there on the internet.
Dang, That's Methed Up is still here.
It's dang, is it?
Pat sent it to me. There's like a Vimeo link that I didn't get to watch because it required a password, but it's still out there. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Probably bad.
Wait, you said it's a kid who drops out to sell meth with his chemistry teacher?
Yeah, Danny and Brian. And Danny drops out.
And this is in
2006. I wrote it. Yeah, I wrote it in 2006, and we filmed it in 2006 also.
So that's pre-Breaking Bad?
Pre-Breaking Bad.
That's why I was kind of laughing, saying, "Oh, just a random idea," thinking that you were like making it after Breaking Bad. So you had the idea for Breaking Bad before Breaking Bad?
Yeah, meth was real big in Harrisonburg, Virginia at the
time. I guess maybe it was not that novel of an idea, but to me, writing Jesse and Walter before Jesse and Walter is a pretty fucking cool idea.
Yeah, so that actually, at first I was pissed off when Breaking Bad came out. And I was like, fuck these guys. They stole my idea. Like Vince Gilligan
was watching Dang That's Methed Up.
Went to the Shenandoah Film Festival in 2005.
You never know,
man.
You never know.
But I was pissed. I was like, this is my fucking idea.
Yeah.
And so I didn't watch it for a while, and then I started watching after a couple years. I'm like, okay, this is the best television show of all time. So a
little bit better than Who Do You Know Here?
Yeah, I think he pulled this off better than I could have. And it did give me a little bit of reinforcement where I was like, you know what? If I have an idea that is similar to the idea that ended up becoming the best television show of all time.
That's huge.
Maybe I'll have another good idea one day.
Dude, I was watching Conan once. The first thing I ever really set out to do that was creative was I wanted to get an internship at Conan. and there was something as simple. I can't even remember what it was. It was like Conan was doing some sort of like mixing the celebrity faces together.
Yeah.
And I like in my head I was thinking like it would be really funny if they mixed this guy with Gollum from Lord of the Rings for whatever reason, and they did that, and I was like, oh shit! Like I just had an idea that would like played out on Conan. It's something as simple as that.
Yeah.
That I was like, I can do this, man. And I called up and I phone interview. They blew me off. All that shit never happened. But that's a smidge compared to like I came up with the premise for the show that ended up being the greatest TV show of all time.
But you're right, because like you see that and you're like, I had that idea. That ultimately is a good thing.
My brain was working that way.
You can be bitter about it, or you can be like,
oh yeah,
I think that this is telling me that this is the direction I should I should start to go on.
Right. Because it's also like your first idea is not going to be the thing anyway. So take it as a good sign and don't be bitter about it and roll with it. So that's kind of like
also
setting.
I just want to point out that like I don't want to seem egotistical, being like, yeah, the whole plot of Breaking Bad, that's mine.
Of course not.
Because,
of course not.
Because the other stuff in that, it was like Danny was making meth with his high school chemistry teacher so that he could get enough money to pay for his mom's boob job so that she could get a job at Hooters so that she could have enough money to buy him an Xbox.
Listen,
so it's a little bit.
At the end of the day, it's about making money for your family's well-being.
Yes, it's actually a touching story. Yeah, you're right. Good point.